Hi folks, I wanted to do an update. It's been a really long time, and I apologize for that. And I think there are a couple of reasons why there's been this long delay. I was really busy over the past few months. I was taking a class that was sucking up a lot of my time, and then work plus a few other things. It was just sort of most non-essentials went by the wayside while I was dealing with priorities. But I'm sort of in a bit more of I have a little bit more time on my hands now. The other reason I think why I didn't make a video for so long was because my planner use had become somewhat automatic. My planner, I had been using the planner enough and thought through it enough and gotten used to my system well enough that I just didn't feel like I had a whole lot to talk about relating to it. I was just using it. It's a tool. I use it every day, and it works, and so I don't really have much to tell you guys. So anyway, we're approaching the end of the year. I probably should be doing Christmas-related chores, but I'm talking to you guys instead. I desperately need a haircut. Anyway, so I'm still using the Franklin Quest binder with the Franklin Covey 2-page per day inserts. And these are the 1.5-inch rings that I swapped in from the zip binder that Aaron sent me. So, and just for reference, these are the 2-page per day inserts I've been using. So, this planner's been working, from a functional standpoint, it's been working really, really well. I have decided that I would prefer to have use weekly views to plan for forward planning rather than using monthly views, because monthly views, it's too small. The boxes are too small for me to really get enough information into to sort of comfortably accommodate everything I need to put in them. I really like having either a week or a month view, because when I need to schedule something, being able to see the whole, at least a week at a glance, is really important. Month views are kind of useful for a more zoomed out sort of view of things, but they're not essential, and I think weeks are better. The 2-page per day inserts have been working really, really well, and I've gotten pretty I'm not very OCD about how these things fill up. I just sort of jot things down. The notes page is great. If the phone rings and I need to write something down while I'm on the telephone, I just write it right there. Anything I need to sort of think about or need to do, but it's not formed into a task yet, I just jot it down. And usually, either at the weekend or Monday morning or something, I go through the prior week to sort of find all the unfinished business, decide if I need to finish it or not, and then if I do, assign it onto days for the following week. So they've been working great. But I think a few things about this. I think I'm kind of in a bit of a planner malaise, and more than just the planner malaise, I'm also in kind of one of my sort of hyper unfocused periods right now. It's like I'm procrastinating like it's my job right now. It's just, I can't get past go on anything. Little things that are very much sort of compartmentalized. I just get them done. Bills get paid, email gets responded to, etc., etc., etc. But bigger projects that I'm trying to do at work or at home, and I just kind of keep putting them off, and I'm getting really kind of frustrated with myself about it. The other thing is that this binder, as functional as it is, and the inserts within, as functional as they are, is not something I don't like it. I just don't like it. And so, because I don't like it, I'm not using it as much as I should. I've noticed, like, over the past month, I'm not writing as much in it. I don't look in it as much. And particularly, I noticed a pattern I developed where this thing is out. Pardon me. This thing is out on my desk at work all day. However, I carry it home in my bag, and I would say probably 5 days out of the week, I don't take it out again until I go back to work. So I'm basically not using a planner for my personal life at all. And I'm not writing things down that I should be writing down. And I'm also, last month in November, I actually, the mail got delivered and the dogs have to bark. So when the mailman comes, it's their job in life. So, anywho, I had a doctor's appointment on a Monday morning at about 11 o'clock in November. I didn't even take out my planner until like 11. I think I got it out to look at something, and when I did, I was like, oh my god, I have a doctor's appointment in like 10 minutes. And I wasn't dressed yet, and there was, even if I was dressed, even if I left right that minute, I wasn't going to get there on time. And so I started to realize that, like, that sort of set me on a path that I started to think about this a lot more. And I'm just not thrilled. I think that the planner needs to work, but I think also for many of us, the planner needs to be something that you want to touch and look at all day long. And I think that that's why a lot of people decorate their planner pages, because it makes it sort of something that they can engage with more. Both the decorating process engages them, and then sort of filling it in becomes part of the process of the decoration. So for me, I don't decorate pages, but I definitely, the planner needs to sort of be elegant. It has to be something that sort of satisfies me at a very sort of aesthetic level, that it's something I like to touch, something I like to have in my hand, that I like what it says about me to other people, that I like how it smells, how it feels, that I want to sort of have my nose in it all the time. And this just doesn't do it. I've remarked before, it's padded. Why would you do that? Yeah, it's weird. It's like a padded brassiere. It's just, ugh. And it also has no closure. Now, a lot of people ask me if that bothers me when it's in my bag. My bag is a pretty slim messenger bag, so I put it spine down, and it doesn't really flop open, and nothing falls out of it in my bag. However, it makes carrying it in the hand, you actually, in addition to just sort of supporting it adequately so that it doesn't fall out of your hand, you also kind of have to deal with the fact that it's open, and that there is no closure, and it just sort of flips and flops this way and that. And it's all just a hair big to sort of palm it all day. It's definitely a handful. Now, don't get me wrong. As you see, I mean, there isn't really much in here that's not important to me. I can get away with carrying a little bit less than this, but this is very convenient because it's all in one place. And as I've said before, I'm scatterbrained. It's like if I don't have it all in one book, then I don't. It's like I don't know where it is. I lose track of it, and I have to strike when iron is hot. Like if I realize, like, oh, I have to write my week's earnings into my check register, if I have to wait till I get home and do it there, I'm probably never going to do it. When I think of that, if I just stop and immediately flip to my check register and just write it in, it's done. And it makes life a lot easier for me. It's like all those sort of 30-second tasks that I can just get done in here. It makes, the more I can get into my planner, the more convenient it is and the better it works for me. But as I said before, it's got to be something I like to use. In addition to the binder sort of not being particularly satisfying, I kind of hate these pages. I don't like the green ink. I don't like that they basically give up these big spaces for no good reason. It's like they serve no purpose. It's like, look at that margin, at the bottom of the page, at the top, these stupid quotes that like I don't read ever. And usually when I do read, it happens to be something really terribly cliche that I could not. It's just like if they're supposed to inspire me, they actually just piss me off. So this one on today, it's December 11th, and the quote is, "I paint objects as I think them, not as I see them," which is quoting Pablo Picasso. Anyway, WTF. I'll move on. I'm just not even going to comment. Same thing, like, I know not everybody cares about this, but these fonts are ugly. And so I think when I get through, like when I sort of look at the whole thing, what I realize is that this system, despite the fact that it works quite well for me, is ugly. And I just don't find it satisfying to use because of that. And it's, it might seem really shallow, but I've been using it for 6 months now. And it worked really well for the first 3 or 4, and then it's just you have to have something has to keep you in it. It can be like totally functional, but if it's not satisfying to use, I think for many of us, it's just not going to work. So anyway, that's sort of where I'm at right now. Now my hope for a solution has arrived in the mail, and this is sort of an moment. Natalie in Scotland contacted me to see if I might be interested in her 5/4 Winchester. Of course, I said, of course. And so she sent it off to me. I didn't. It's unusual for me to get. Sorry, here it is. It's a very nice sort of a deep red-brown. It's kind of just the perfect amount of worn in. Let's see if we open her up. There's the rings. Classic. All Winchester inside. Very nice. Anyway, it's unusual for me to get something so coveted like this and not get into it right away, but I think many of you know, Franklin Covey pages do not fit into this, and so the transition from this to this is actually a lot more involved than just moving the pages over, because you can't move the pages over, they don't fit. But I'm like thrilled to get this because, I love the red Winchester, both the color and just the overall, the design, the feel of it in my hand. But the 7/8 ring size is just a little bit too small for me. Again, I can make it work. It worked I used it from January. I used this planner exclusively from January until the end of June. And I tried an experiment in July of using this as a personal planner and using the Franklin Quest as like a work planner. That didn't work, so then I just transitioned full-time into the Franklin Covey. But this worked really well for me, but it wasn't perfect because I couldn't quite get everything into it that I needed. So this, if we put them together, you can see the difference in the ring size. Whoops. Pretty substantial increase. Like all Winchesters, the ring mechanism seems to work brilliantly. So one ring looks like it got a little bit misshapen, but usually they can be adjusted slightly. So, but it closes nice and strong. It still has the sort of nicely, like they kind of, what's the word? Chamfered? I don't remember. they sort of smooth down where the ring teeth are, where they close, so that it's less likely to snag pages. Snagging pages is always a pain in the butt. So anyway, my hope is to use this. I bought, do I have it in here? Yes. I bought a ruled week on 2 pages insert for 2014, which I'm planning to use as my sort of main... Oh, the phone is ringing. Anyway, maybe I'll end this here and I'll go over the setup in another video. Thanks, guys. I'll post this and carry on with the next one.